Next, we have innovation generation. Dr. Valesky.
So last year, when the board gave me a set of goals and objectives, one of those goals and objective was to look at innovative programs by which we could benchmark what we do here at East Brunswick. And I thought we would start the process by looking within our own walls at maybe some of the innovative practices we've actually explored or some of our teachers have deployed. So I solicited the assistance of two people who are well qualified to help me. Dr. Mike Gaskell, who's in the audience, and Mrs. Joyce Boley. We're sent on a mission to go out through the district and identify innovation. And the parameters were unlimited. They had to solicit the input from the teachers. They got a lot of responses about innovation. And they had to go through and they had to distill down what was really innovation and what was maybe really great practice. And what they did is they put together like a video diary of their travels. And there's a full-length video, which is about 35 minutes, right, Dr. Gaskell? But I asked them, and that is not going to happen tonight.
That's why he's hiding in the back there.
Since I'm presenting, it's going to be about a 10-minute clip that Mike and Joyce have put together that really demonstrates what's going on in East Brunswick, and it's really meant not only to showcase the great stuff our teachers are doing, but to provide that stimulus for the board about what are the programs you might want to look at. You typically want to look at a couple of programs a year, and this would be a stimulus to say, I want to look at that, or I want to look at that in more depth. So sit back and enjoy for the next 10 minutes. Mike or Joyce, do you want to say anything before we introduce this?
Yeah, just quickly, just recognize a couple people. Thank you. So I promised Dr. Valesky that in addition to the 10-minute reel, we'd be like 2 minutes or less, like 2-minute warning. So go. First of all, Papa, congratulations. I knew Papa when he was half this size, and he just keeps growing. And I mean that figuratively and literally. So good luck to you in your future. Thanks, Dr. Valesky, on behalf of Joyce and I. It was really fun doing this. And it was great having a sidekick. Joyce was tremendous because when I said, what do you think about this? And she'd kind of do that thing like my wife goes, where, no. It was a great check system. So I think we put together a pretty good package. And the last thing I want to do is just mention that a couple of our innovators are actually here tonight, Tony Alexander and Kelly Grotrian. And I just wanted to make a special mention that Kelly is published in this subject. She's actually on E! News and a couple other education journals. So it's really neat that she's been part of that. Lastly, we have a real nice, enjoyable, hopefully entertaining video for you to watch. So please, and Joyce, did you want to mention anything else?
I just wanted to say that I had a really great time working on this project. Getting to go into all the classrooms around the district was really special, and especially listening to the students share and articulate with us, what things their teachers are doing that are really engaging them in learning was a real treat. And, as I reflect on this experience, it really makes me proud to work in this district. We have some great stuff going on here.
All right. Very good.
So sit back and enjoy.
Thanks.
Now it's too long.
Hi, my name is Eric Meyer, and I teach elementary physical education at Warsaw School. And my innovation is the Clickers card. A Clicker card is a fancy QR card that you can use for assessing your students. And basically what this is the students, you can give them various types of questions, true or false, multiple choice, and the students simply have to hold up the correct answer based on the numbers or letters on the Clicker card, and then you can scan those cards with your iPad or your iPhone, and you'll have instant data on your students.
I like it because it's different than anything else we do. Like in regular classes, we would usually just raise our hands and say the answers or write our own response. This is something where he actually just scans all our cards and
Hi, my name is Andy Steinfeld. I'm a physical education teacher here at East Brunswick High School. Today my innovation is we are going to be using iPads to go over Google Classroom. They're going to have a self-assessment. Instead of taking a written test, this is a self-assessment which they'll load onto their Google Classroom, and they'll be able to see their own video, and we can assess them the skill.
The thing I like about this new type of teaching is that instead of memorizing a skill and just like putting it on paper or a test, the teacher can actually see if we know a skill by seeing that if we can dribble, or for example, how we can actually make a chest pass instead of just putting it on a piece of paper.
My name is Senora Cortez Fabricio, and I teach Spanish 2 at Hammersholt Middle School. The innovation for us is the use of e-portfolios, which means our students submit their evidence of their progress, what they are able to do. They shoot a video or audio or video and upload it to their portfolio on Google Drive. And it goes with them all through high school, and they can see what they were able to do, not able to do better, they very much like it.
Hi, my name is Ashley, and I'm a student in Senora Cortez's 7th grade Spanish class. And I think this kind of learning is different from regular learning because it's very it's very retrackable. So you can go back to it and view it, unlike normal work where it could just get lost or like jammed in a corner in the locker.
Juegos con mis amigos y hermanos. Después, mi mamá y yo damos la comida.
Hi, I'm Miss Holzapfel, and I teach 3rd grade at Monroe Elementary School. Zing is a fantastic free resource that provides educators, parents, and students unlimited access to thousands of online ebooks in English and Spanish, both in school and at home. The teacher can assign books based on genre or reading level. Once the student logs in, they have access to assignments and can begin reading.
We can highlight stuff that we think is important and always go back and read it.
Do you think that helps you learn?
My innovation is I use technology to globally connect with Spanish-speaking countries around the world. My students interact with other native-speaking students.
Just seeing other people speaking Spanish, you're learning from them because you're learning how they naturally speak, and we want to learn how to be like that. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Tony Alexander, phys ed teacher at Churchill Junior High School. My innovation is using Google Classroom in the phys ed classroom. I use it in a couple different ways. The first way is kind of social media-esque. All 100% of my students are on social media these days, and it's a great way for me to meet them where they are in terms of their learning. We post discussion questions and really have robust conversations in our classroom. Another way that I use it is for assessment. Any type of assessment, written assessment, is now done digitally through Google Forms.
I'm Jonathan Meadows from Churchill Junior High School. I'm in Mr. Alexander's class, and I like Google Classroom because we get to learn before how to play the games and what games are doing, so that way we have more time to play them.
Bonjour! My name is Madame Ferreira, and I am the French teacher at Hammersholt. I have begun with French cooking lessons this year because I wanted to give my students the opportunity to make and sample different French cuisines.
Where's your sauce? Just give it a smear. You're all set. Now, which pot are you from? Texture is perfect.
Hi, I'm Patty Clancy. I'm the math specialist here at Monroe School. We have a great innovation that we wanted to share. It's called Pear Deck, and the kids are able to put in responses to a math question on their Chromebook, and eventually all of the responses from the class are displayed publicly onto the smartboard, and the kids can see everybody's responses and analyze them and talk about them, but it's anonymous.
Why was this different than just doing it in your notebook by yourself? Real.
It was different because there was all these different tools that you can use and like right in front of you and the questions right on the top.
This here is called Edmodo. So yesterday we started research on the Black Depth for our nonfiction unit. So the kids yesterday were able to get some good facts from our lesson. But last night they went on and they found their own facts. They were able to find videos, articles, and even pictures.
So what do you think is different about this than like normal class learning?
Like posting stuff, because in class you can't post stuff.
Right, it's kind of like your world, right?
Yeah.
Posting online.
Well,
Hi, Christopher.
and I like Edmodo because it's kind of like a Facebook. It's kind of like Facebook. You can go and put a link in like a picture. And also you could go always like if you don't know something you could go and type it up and it's some way a closer response.
I can think of nothing that will change the climate in any school in this country more than the Be at Your Door routine.
Martes, mañana es. Hoy es martes, mañana es miércoles, bravo. Si hoy es miércoles, mañana es. Bravo.
My name is Gabriela Ayala, and I'm a Spanish teacher here in Hammersholt. I do Kickstart questioning at the door, which is an innovation because as they approach my class, they're already thinking in Spanish, and their successful entry into the room already has a positive kickstart to the class.
Hi, I'm Sophia Winston, and I'm in Senora L's class at Hammersholt. The reason why I like doing the questions at the door is it gets me warmed up for quizzes and gets the things stuck in my head, so I do better.
Hi, I'm Taylor Rennis, a third grade teacher at Memorial School, and this is my innovative idea. My students have been working a lot on number stories in the classroom, so what I decided to come up with in order to engage them more in mathematics, I created some video number stories, which basically entail mathematical situations represented authentically for students. And what they need to do is they get to look for clues in the videos, which help them to solve the problems. And then they go and they write a story to them.
All right, we're doing this in inches, right?
What do you think? How many of you had something? So you're clarifying something?
Hi, my name is Madam Rente, and I'm one of the teachers that teaches French here at Churchill Junior High School. And I have a Powtoon video that one of my students created.
Rather than just sitting in the classroom and having a teacher lecture you, it was way more interactive because I really got to create something and I got to be much more creative with what I wanted to make because I was making my own little movie or cartoon.
I teach U.S. History 2 and AP U.S. History here at the high school. The project that the students are working on is called a VBQ, or a video-based question activity. The reason that this is such a great experience for the students is that they have the opportunity to control their own learning.
I'm Chloe Cummins, and I'm in Mrs. Grouchy in second period class. She teaches U.S. history. It's a different way of learning because it's using the computer rather than like the standard form of learning, which is like really boring when a teacher just like goes up and talks. This is more independent, which I find easier, and like I feel like it's a better way of learning because you kind of teach yourself.
We also had to provide information for ourselves to
Do you feel like you have more ownership over your learning, or?
Yes,
Yeah,
we learned a lot more, especially me.
You learn a lot more?
Yeah.
This way, okay, very good.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. It looks like it was an awful lot of work, and we sit here in these meetings, but this is one of the few windows into what's going on in the classrooms that we get to have, and this was pretty good. So you'll do this again?
We will.
Come back?
We
Okay.
will.
This as a foundation
So this was innovation. This was the topic for
The
this one?
topic was innovation.
You thinking other topics or something in the future, or
We're talking about looking at some great ideas that have happened here, some of the things that have been highlighted here, and looking at benchmarking that with other districts, and then pulling some new information into our district. That's always been a goal of East Brunswick's, is to look at best practices and bring it back here. But this was our baseline. We wanted you to see some of the great stuff that was already going on, that our teachers have already done as self-starters once we rolled technology into the classroom. They've been extremely responsive to their students. And as you heard Anthony say, he basically adapted to their world, their social media world, and he adapted his class to them. And I think it draws the students into the learning. And they really, when they feel like they're controlling the learning, that really rises or raises the level of teacher effectiveness in our Danielson model, because when students control that means we have really effective teachers.
one of the last students had said, that having technology to work from in the classroom makes it less boring than your traditional teaching.
Yes.
What I think is important for everybody to understand is that we're going to have to continue to invest in technology so we can continue to get our students engaged like that. I mean, they seem to love learning that way. They're going to have to learn that way.
Right.
It's the way of the world, and I think that it's important to have that.
Absolutely, and we have to invest in the human factor too, because we have to have great teachers who are willing to take that technology and push it to its limits and stay ahead of the students that they're teaching. And there certainly is dialogue in some classrooms where teachers teach the teachers something about technology.
I'm sure that's the case.
And we have great teachers who accept that, but we can all learn from this. So it's a great tool, and we look forward to producing more high-quality insights into what we've been doing.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
I think it's phenomenal what you could do with technology, but it still is it's a tool.
Right.
And I've had patients who've come into my office who teach in districts that aren't as fortunate as ours in terms of the economics of their communities, but they have all the technology, but they still have a problem with getting the kids motivated and support at home. And I think that we need to always recognize that again, it's still just a tool, and appreciate the fact that we still have a community that supports education as much as we have here. We can never take that for granted, and recognize that it's great to take these tools and use them for such innovative things like you're showing us here. But it's a tool.
All right. Anyone else? Mrs. Beck?
I really enjoyed the fact that the students took ownership of each of the different projects in the classroom, that it wasn't a teacher-student situation as a group of stakeholders, that they were so engaged in the process that was being presented to them. And I just really enjoyed that. And as Todd said, it was a great glimpse into the everyday classroom life of the district, which we all really need and appreciate. Thank you for all your efforts.
Yeah. All right.
I want to thank Dr. Gaskell and Mrs. Boley, too, for all the work they put into it, and we look forward to doing it again for you.
Good. Mrs. Shaw?
Before we move on, sometimes you hear the criticism of technology being that our students have forgotten how to talk to each other, and also perhaps that they don't know how to speak to their instructors either. And I wondered if Mrs. Grotrian and Mr. Alexander have noted that to be true in their classrooms.
No, I wouldn't say that. We do a lot of communication online. We do something called an online fishbowl. It really lends itself to those students who are not as comfortable speaking in class, but we do a lot of activities both in APUSH and the US2 curriculum where they are engaging with each other. So it is a nice mix, but I think that technology piece helps those students who are very intimidated in a class where people are speaking, they shy away, but with the technology, they have the time, the space to think and respond.
Thanks.
I agree with what you said.
Very nice.
You're a
Thank
smart
you.
man.
Dr. Cohen.
But at the same time, we've seen them come up here and do these presentations that I don't think that I could have done at that age.
Right.
Second graders coming here and making presentations and standing up at microphones, and you just went up to, I don't know if those things were rehearsed that you had up there, but a lot of those kids came up and they really didn't seem to have any problem with communicating.
Yeah, that was all improv.
Well, remember, we're also growing up in front of smartphone
Yeah.
cameras.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're always performing, so thank you very much.